What is going on, guys? You're chilling with Charlie, and this is the second video to my series, Hero Breakdown, and today we'll be going over Hanzo. Right off the bat, I want to start talking about his passive ability, which is Wall Climb, which allows you to run up walls and buildings, essentially to get the high advantage of your enemy. Not many other heroes can do this. I know that Widowmaker with her grappling hook, and Genji has the same ability, but other than that, you're pretty good. With Hanzo being a mid-range sniper, this ability is amazing for getting a perfect startup defense on the opposing team, as I do here. I'm going to run up this building and I'm going to use my Sonic Arrow to mark the enemy as they come out the spawn. This way, my teammates that are pushing a strong defense will know exactly where they're at and exactly who they're dealing with. Which is good in turn, because then you'll know whether you'll need to fall back or push up, depending on what heroes the enemy team is using. This right here is a perfect example of me being able to flank the enemy team and get a higher advantage on them. None of them know I'm here at the moment, which allows me to start picking them off as I go. It is important to stay as hidden for as long as possible in a position like this so that you can hold it, because then your team will have more time to take up position in their defense, because really you don't want them to take that first objective or any objective at all, because that's the point of the game, right? You have to be careful though, because some players will be able to sneak up on you depending on where you're at. Some positions are accessible to every player, while others are only accessible to a few. As you can see here, Genji has managed to sneak up behind me, but I can still take him out. And this right here is a perfect example of me being able to use my passive ability to sneak up on enemy players. Alright, now I just want to talk about Hanzo as a whole and using his abilities in combo and what that can do for you. His main abilities are Storm Bow, Scatter Arrow, Sonic Arrow, and his ultimate is Dragon Strike. Storm Bow is the standard attack for Hanzo. Charging the bow up deals more damage, while just firing it deals less damage. When in close range situations, it's good to just use it without charging unless you're confident in your accuracy. If so, then just aim for that fatal headshot. Now his Scatter Arrow and Sonic Arrow are good either alone or when used together in combo. Using your Sonic Arrow is good to seek out where the opposing team's players might be hidden, either if it's behind a wall or in a corridor/hallway. Scatter Arrow can be used to finish them off when they're least expecting it. This can be used to your advantage for offensive or defensive purposes. For defensive purposes, you can use your Scatter Arrow to push them back, or for offensive, you can use to kill them. But keep in mind, it's not always one-shot kill, especially for the tank heroes. I think the Sonic Arrow's purpose was to aid your team to be able to see what's ahead of them, but I mostly use it for personal aid. Sometimes I like to help my team out though. Another good way to use your Scatter Arrow is to shoot it into a large group. This way you can affect or damage more than just one person, giving you more of a chance to take them out in one shot and push them back all at once. It's important to work as a team no matter if you're defending or attacking. Some good heroes that pair well with Hanzo are Reinhardt, Mei, and Junkrat. I'm sure there are more, but I'll just keep it short for the sake of the video. Reinhardt is good because his shield is only permeable from the backside, meaning you can shoot arrows through it, which is awesome, especially for escorting the payload. Mei is good because she has the ability to freeze people for a short period of time, so if she isn't paying attention or misses a shot, you have a chance at getting the final blow. And Junkrat is kind of the same concept, but you have more of a chance with his steel trap, as he usually walks away from it, leaving the kill up for grabs. Make your shot count, because they're still able to attack you while they're trapped, which could end up being very humiliating if you let them kill you, especially if you're in the play of the game. Sometimes it's a good strategy to know who it's safe to engage with and who you should stay the hell away from. Most tank characters you shouldn't take on alone unless they are pretty lacking in health, and anyone that can move faster than you is good to keep at a distance. So that means Tracer, Soldier 76, Genji, etc. Other than that, Hanzo is a strong team utility with great defensive and offensive abilities that can flank and quickly take down the opposing team without anyone noticing at all, other than his counterpart, Widowmaker. With that being said, we're going to move on and talk about his ultimate. Hanzo's ultimate is Dragon Strike, which launches a giant dragon spear that annihilates anyone it passes through. Again, this ability can be used in both defensive and offensive purposes. An example of using it for defense would be just fire it upon an objective or near a choke point, making the opposing team scatter and fall back to regroup, giving your team a short period of time to push up and regroup as well. If you're lucky, you might get someone dumb enough to not notice a giant red dragon coming right at them and pick up an elimination. If you're going for the straight up offensive play, be sure to not let anyone notice that it's coming. This ability can pass through as many walls as you need it to. It only has a short range, so make sure that you are close enough to make an effect. Same as for defense, fire it upon an objective or a choke point. Pairing his ultimate with his Sonic Arrow is good because then you will know exactly where it needs to be put. And if his ultimate doesn't do the trick alone, then use his Scatter Arrow to finish the job. Well guys, this will conclude my hero breakdown for Hanzo, and as much as I know about him so far. If this video helps you out at all, or I missed something, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you. Be sure to tune in to next week's video to see my breakdown on Genji, and check out last week's video where I break down McCree. Thanks for chilling, guys.
My warrior spirit